Yanks. I am your host, Dave, and with me, as always, is Dad.
Hello, everyone, and tonight we're going to bring you the beautiful game from the American perspective. And the beautiful game in England has been amazing. Maybe not. Okay, I'm overselling. It wasn't bad though. It was a okay weekend. Weekend.
I mean, the Merseyside Derby, a draw for me, is my Merseyside paradise. I don't know about you. To quote the song.
I mean,
an intro.
If you look at the clubs that we're playing and you go, okay, well, Everton is always pushing and they always want to take it to that next level. They want to be in that 3, 4, 5 spot. And then you take a club like Liverpool and who finished second last year has historical top 4 connotation.
Whose manager hasn't won anything and talks like some sort of a prophet.
But his teeth are so amazing. No, all right, but you look at Liverpool and you go, they're a rival, right? They're a rival. Regardless of where they stand right now on the table, you look at them and you go, this is a team that is going to be pushing. At one point this season, they're going to be pushing for a title.
Not only are they a local rival, they're on the tables of their rival.
Right, well, they're playing each other, so then you go, best outcome is 1 point apiece. Let's just call it a day.
Yep.
It looked like Liverpool was going to get the full slate after it was a great free kick from Steven Gerrard. I'm a little disappointed in Tim Howard here because it looked like Tim Howard was inviting Gerrard to kick it over the wall. It looked like he was set up that way. It was like, come on, test me. I'm ready. He got a hand to it, but it wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
wasn't good enough. If you're going to spank the ball, spank the damn ball. I mean, I think it hit the top of the net.
It just kind of got a weak wrist onto it, and then that infinite power slide, 1,000-yard stare into the camera.
Steven Gerrard was just letting everyone know, I'm not dead.
Top quality gift material right there, or whatever you want to call it.
Liverpool was doing all right. I thought they were gonna seal it off at that point, but Steven.
The Jaguar.
Right, Steven Jagielka? Is that his
name?
Jagielka. He had
the one that David Moyes showed a video to Rio Ferdinand and said, "Here, play like him."
Did he really?
True story.
That's a true story?
Yeah. That was his book.
I don't
know if it's true story.
That's a quick way to lose a locker room.
I'm like, yeah, play like this old guy that I left. I want you to play.
I mean, what can you do against a strike like that? The ball bunts. The ball's kind of like pinging around the box. It gets cleared out, and it just falls to the foot of a defender.
You don't expect that to go in.
How many times do you think he tries that and it goes in?
I don't know. I try it in FIFA every day, and it never goes in. And that's in real life. So I can only imagine how hard that is.
That's in real life video game, and it never happens.
It's a soccer simulator. Okay.
Okay. Good.
No,
I mean I
couldn't believe it. That was like in the World Cup in South Africa with the Netherlands game. Was it Van Borstrook or Van Vandersbroek or that laser from 45 yards out on the side? It was just out of nowhere. And at that time of the game for him to score
through traffic, no one's expecting it. You can't even no one even had a chance to like bear down on him.
It's just coughed out of the box.
Box. It took a bounce, and he just
ripped it.
Boom! Quite an incredible goal.
He'll never forget that one.
That's how it ended.
Neither will the cup end.
What year was
right in front of him?
What year? What minute was that? I said year. What minute was that? I've been drinking a few beers. I'm a little in the bag.
What year is it?
What year is it? What year did he score that in?
That was 90. Yeah, that was right at the end.
It was right at the end, right?
Yeah. It was a magical wonder strike.
I mean, for Everton, that's a good result at the end of the day. They go to Liverpool.
Absolutely.
Grab a point. Liverpool really needs to get the ball rolling here and start to string together a couple of wins. They need to build a little bit of confidence. I think a guy like Balotelli needs to score a goal. I think there's still. I mean, I said this before. What was that?
It was injury time. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
It was injury time. Okay, it was injury time. But I think and I've said this in the previous podcast, I think they're having a tough time integrating the variety of pieces, the recovering from the loss of Suarez, the loss of Sturridge in the short term.
Balotelli's readjusting to the EPL and the system.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he,
he's not a robot.
Exactly. He's got to adapt. It's not just adapt to the Premier League. I think he's well suited to play in the Premier League. I think it's adapt to the system, adapt to the players,
and the media, and the life and living in England again. He's a villain again. Well, he's always been the villain. That's his character.
That's his MO.
Yeah, but he's got to readjust to dealing. The lights are hotter. Right, there's no doubt.
I'm going to segue here. I'm going to segue into the next Derby match, but I'm going to segue with Balotelli and Welbeck went for about the same value. What do you think? Who got the deal? It's just very early. I know that we could talk a year from now might be a very different story, but
at this point in their careers, if you say, how old's Welbeck? 22? 23?
I believe he's 23 or 24.
Yeah. Balotelli's 26. So
Balotelli's in a similar age group, actually. He's been playing a lot of professional ball, but he's still kind of young. I think he's 25.
Not only does Welbeck have a better haircut. I'm a kids and play kind of guy. That's just me. Kids and play. But I love House Party. His mentality.
Which one?
His mentality.
Don't tell me the third one.
No, two. His mentality, his vision, the way he can see a line, and not only how it benefits him. I'm talking about Welbeck. How it benefits him and how he's going to play in the next 5 seconds, but how everyone else is going to play in the next 5 seconds. I think that's around him. I think Welbeck is more conscious of the players around him than Balotelli is. I think Balotelli can only see what's in front of him. Do you know what I'm saying? The way he plays.
It's you're kind of talking to their soccer intelligence, their football intelligence, essentially. Yeah. But just to backtrack, while you were speaking, I was listening. I didn't shut you out. Yeah. But we added a few years to each of them. Welbeck 23, Balo 24.
Okay. Well, I
think Welbeck probably. I mean, I think he has a better
dynamic. I think he's more dynamic of a striker. I think Balotelli is a more out-and-out striker.
I think Balotelli needs to work with another striker. He needs someone else to take the defense's mind off of him.
Make him space.
Yes.
Either with motion or with a pass or with something.
But when he's on his day, when he does have those elements and the ball's in front of him, one of the most incredible guys.
Highlight reels.
Right. So,
on the day.
Continuing my transition, because I'm sick of talking about Balotelli. North London Derby, which was not, I mean, I'm segueing into something that was not really overly pleasant for myself as an Arsenal supporter.
I was stirring tea.
You were stirring tea?
Yeah, that was a bit more exciting for me.
Wowzers. North London.
Was that joke?
No, that was not. I'm just gonna lift the rug, brush it underneath.
Never
Didn't happen.
Never happened.
North London Derby. One of the matches that really. Both, the two times that they play every year is when I circle it on the calendar. I make sure that I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to watch it.
It's turned up.
It's usually both clubs are turned up. Now, it was at the Emirates. Arsenal has done very well against Spurs at the Emirates over the last couple of years. They've had a lot of turmoil, a lot of changeover of managers, a lot of losing superstar players. Now, not that I want, this match was a classic. Arsenal had a bulk of possession. They looked good, but they were toothless in the final third. On the other side, Tottenham was picking their times to counterattack very well. Looked very dangerous on the counter. Couldn't finish anything. The one goal that Tottenham scores was actually the result of poor distribution and Flamini basically get caught in midfield, not realizing where he was. Set up Spurs for a beautiful little goal there.
Give him it on a plate.
Arsenal fights back into the game. They kind of turn it on. The gears get going, and they get back into the game. They score another one. I thought they were going to be able to pull 2 out. Unfortunately, Arsenal couldn't take advantage of anything in the final third. I think they had 15 corners. Nothing. I mean, a corner is an advantageous position to be in, right? That's the whole. You're rewarded a corner because the opposing team kicked the ball out of the end line. So now you get a free kick from the corner flag, and usually, you're getting a pinball effect. It's usually in your favor. 15 times, you would hope you get 1 goal out of them. Nothing. It didn't look very great in that aspect. I did like when Sanchez came off the bench. He added a certain element of urgency. It was pretty good. And Oxlade-Chamberlain is going to give Wenger a serious headache when Walcott becomes healthy, because he's really cementing his spot on that right side.
Yeah.
I mean, he scored the equalizer, but he was a guy taking on. He was playing wide, playing good out wide, taking on defenders, moving. I mean, I know people say, well, you could deploy him in the midfield, but who are you going to dislodge to put Ox in? I'm not saying that it's another dilemma. Okay, so you give Walcott the right, but now you have another dilemma in the middle.
I'm going to be honest with you though, Arsenal. It's a good problem to have too many players.
Right, because what's the other thing that everyone's talking about? The injury bug, right?
Exactly.
Which, by the way, happens to be the name of my latest blog post for Cannon Fodder.
Check it out.
SoccerYanks.com/Cannon Fodder. I wrote a little piece about the injury bug, and I'll give. I mean, you could go and read it in detail, but essentially, what I believe is causing the injury issues: style of play, possession-based, build-up-based football does 2 things. One, and also the way that Arsenal does it with the tight spaces, trying to get little passes in here and there. You get in those tight spaces, bodies are going to smash together. When you're playing a build-up style, possession style, teams are going to tactically, a good way to beat Arsenal is to high press and kick the crap out of them.
Run into them because they're standing still. Well, not standing still, but they're adjusting.
They're right. Well, it's a way to knock Arsenal off their game, right? So you go at their midfielders and you make them feel a lot of pressure, so they have to make a bad pass.
Pass off balance. Yeah.
All right, so you're colliding into players. You're giving them high press. That's going to lead to impact. The more impacts,
awkward passing, awkward body movements.
Right, awkward passing, awkward body movements. On top of that, Arsenal has led the league in passing the last 3 seasons. They're leading the league right now. It's still early, but the last 2 seasons they led the league in passing. I don't have all the stats because I'm not paying for the Opta and all that good stuff. But I would guess, my gut would tell me that for the last 10 or so years at least, they've been in top 3 in possession and passing in the league. Now, passing, right? If you pass 18,000 times in a year, 19,000 times in a year, pass. You're doing repetitive motion over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, yeah, the professional athletes, but you do that in practice, and you do that in the game, and you're constantly moving and you're touching the ball. It's a lot different than a team that says, okay, all we're asking you to do is to stay in position and move. You know what I mean?
Make yourself open.
It's different, right? It's a little bit different. So that's one aspect. Other aspect is financial restraints over the last several years have caused Arsenal to not be a very deep squad. Okay, we've heard that. There's a lot of things about that. Then there's a big sticking point that a lot of people have now, and almost coinciding with the new physio that they hired. His name is Forsyth. He's an American actually. He was with the German national team for the last 10 years.
I remember that name.
He's kind of like some amazing physio.
Guru.
So, right, a guru. So the fact that they signed him almost kind of give credence to the fact that Arsenal is probably not happy with the backroom staff in the past.
You know what they need to do? They need to get that hot chick from Chelsea.
The magic wand. She's got the magic wand. Nobody ever gets hurt at Chelsea.
She's incredible.
They live forever. So
sorry, I didn't mean to use the
so
word.
you probably maybe have a physio problem. Also, you compound that with you have team doctors, right? You have you have a thin squad. Your guys need to come back. The doctor goes, you know what? He probably needs an extra week off, but he starts to feel the pressure. Is he ready? Is he ready? Is he ready? He gives the green light. Yeah, he's ready. But maybe another week or two would have been better. So players come back before they're ready, more likely to re-injure, especially in the strains, the muscle strain, the muscle fatigue stuff. And then there's the issue that in the short term this last summer, I think Wenger overlooked issues at center back and holding midfielder. Now, the center backs we have...
It's going around in the EPL, trust me.
Well, the center backs that we have... United understands that. I mean, the center backs
an
that we
injury bug now, apparently.
Koscielny and Mertesacker... Okay, Mertesacker has his shortcomings in speed. However, combined with Koscielny, I think the two of them are symbiotic. They work out well. On the left, Gibbs is back. That's okay. First choice. On the right, Chambers, the young kid. Not first choice over Debussy, but very good. Doing very well.
Solid.
So we're okay until the next injury. The next injury, it becomes very questionable. Holding midfielder now, it's Arteta or Flamini. Flip a coin. They're both kind of old.
Did Arteta get injured?
No, that's what I'm saying. Arteta is injured. We only had two to begin with.
Well, and now Diaby's back.
Well, Diaby's back, but...
They're easing him in.
And I mean, everyone looks at Diaby, they look at his skill set, they look at his size, and they go, well, all right, holding midfielder. He could do that. He could play a defensive midfielder. That's really not what he likes to do. He likes to be an attacking midfielder.
That's like what's his name?
Yaya Toure. Exactly like Yaya Toure.
That's like Fellaini.
Well, Fellaini. Also, everyone thinks perfect for a defensive player, but attacking player. In his head. Now, Capital One Cup, and for the reserves, he has been playing in the holding position. And in the Capital One Cup, that was a pretty awful match for Arsenal last week. They lost. However, Diaby put in a great shift. We might see him deployed there, and I think he's matured to the point where he knows, I just want to be on the field. If the boss says I'm playing holding, I'm playing holding. Like, you know what I mean? At this point, I think any minutes are good minutes for him. So maybe we see that. Maybe there is some cause for concern on the injuries, though. They're not over the hump yet. They've put some things into place, but they're not over the hump yet. We'll see. I'm not too worried because last year there was a lot more muscle fatigue injuries, which is a sign of bad training methods, bad training overuse. Where this year, it's a lot of like... Impact stuff, exactly.
Other news, Southampton beat QPR. Not so surprised about QPR with the loss. Just letting the trains are rolling on Southampton.
Southampton, I'm not to take anything away from Southampton, but I believe the goal of the season was scored by Austin on QPR. He had a
back heel. Or
he had like a Bergkamp like flick, back to goal, flick, turn, and slam the ball in on the volley.
Magic.
Yep. I'm sorry that to detract from Southampton's win, but
no, it was absolutely insane. And actually, talking about physios in Southampton news, United just is in the process of poaching their physio.
Oh, whatever. Just gut Southampton some more.
Why not? Everyone else is doing it, including us.
Let's talk about United. Let's talk about what I think. I don't know if... Did you coin the term? Is it your term? Or is it a term that people use? I've never heard it before.
Which one?
The barbarian brace.
No, that's mine.
I love
like
that term. Can enlighten the listeners to what the barbarian brace is.
A barbarian brace is a goal and a straight red. And Rooney got one. It's similar to a Gordie Howe hat trick in hockey is a goal, an assist, and a fight. 5 for fighting. But yeah, a barbarian's brace.
I really like the term. I really do like the term. Goal and a red card. It's a
straight red.
It's got to be a straight red, not double yellow.
Yep. I wasn't. It looked like a great game in the first half. They were flying high. I was not comfortable in the second half at all. It was very tense. There's more of a complacent attitude. They seemed they didn't have any teeth to them. But Paddy fucking McNair, holy shit, man! Did you see that header?
Are we on the set of Good Will Hunting? What the hell's going on?
On the line. He did
he cleared one off the line, right?
Chicharito header, except the other way, off of his face. It was incredible, and that saved the game. It would have tied it. I really and Anders Herrera is out 3 weeks, fractured ribs from that game, which sucks because he was so far. Di Maria, obviously the best signing, but Herrera so far, his performance, the way he is on the ball, the confidence, his movement off the ball after his passes, the way he creates space for himself and knows where the space is coming after he receives it's very exciting. At least you knew Moyes had an eye for good people.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was going to say, can we give Moyes some credit? Yeah. Because I think Moyes wanted this guy.
He wanted him last year, yeah.
But also to give Moyes discredit.
He didn't want to go because it was Moyes.
Or he botched the negotiations or something. Something that caused him to not come.
He was like, listen, I know you'd probably want to go to City, but, you could come here because we're kind of cool. I don't know if you've heard of us from Manchester, kind of a big deal.
Have you ever seen He-Man?
Yeah.
Do you know the bad guy? That's me.
Skeletor. With now Rooney's out with a straight red for the next match, and
what'd you think of that red? By the way, let's talk a little bit about that red.
It was classic Wayne Rooney asshole move,
petulance
from back in the day.
Not necessary.
Yeah, no, that was an early years move, which I think is part of the new philosophy. Philosophy. And Rafael da Silva. He did an interview. He did one of those. It's hysterical. Anyway, I think he wants Rooney to turn up the fire, which SAF tried to quell.
Yeah, because what happens is when you feed a pit bull meat, he gets worse.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know. I think a reserved Rooney that has a fire in his belly but is holding it back is better than one that's just going to be
raw,
like lashing out at. I mean, that's what he's doing.
That's what it was.
The week before, he made a mistake and lashed out at his teammates. Now this week, he lost the ball. There was a question there of a handball before that. Okay, and he was frustrated. Out of his frustration, he basically goes, I'm going to just try to... you can take a professional foul there. You take a swipe at him a little bit. You kick him in the shins, and you go, okay. No, he went to kill.
No, he went for his balls.
That's what I'm saying.
He kicked him straight in the hip, and if it was the other way, it would went right in his
He's
nuts.
like, if I nick his balls, I'd be happy right now. And then, and on top of that,
it was right in front of the ref.
He was still yelling at the ref. He kicked the guy, and he's like,
"Yeah,
there was a handball.
Did you see that handball?"
The ref is like, "I don't know what to tell you."
The guy.
I'm gonna have to give you a red.
That was a real.
So I'm not sure. Is it maybe that he's getting the sensation or the feeling that he's getting pushed out?
No, I think the pressure's high. He's the captain. He has to perform, and I think he's trying to do that Roy Keane kind of. Roy Keane. Oh, Jesus Christ. Robbie Keane. And that asshole gritty kind of thing. Paul Scholes had it too. He'd take a yellow, do a cheap, shitty tackle. Not that stupid, but he would do something like that.
He would do it on accident.
And roll his eyes, sorry.
Yeah. I'm just the ginger.
I can't see. It's a genetic thing.
Oh my God! No offense to anyone with red hair, please.
Yeah.
It's really just putting down Paul Scholes. That's it.
I would never do that.
I would.
Raphael had another great performance, I think, too. End line to end line, 90 minutes straight. He did everything he had to do to defend, track back, and to get into the box. And I think I like him better as a right winger than Valencia. Because Valencia will cross it straight into the defender's shin. Every single time.
Everyone needs a token Brazilian.
He's
you
awesome.
need a token Brazilian. Take it from a Brazilian. You need at least one. You have two, you have a problem maybe.
Little personality conflict. But they're brothers.
Oh,
we had brothers.
That's
a passion. And then you had Rojo in the middle. Kind of a schism. That wouldn't have worked. I think it was smart.
It was smart to send one of them away.
Had to get out of there.
What do you think of Rojo? Because I'm not. I think he's a bit of a flop of a signing.
I think he's a liability right now, but I think again the philosophy is there are players on the defending half of the field who are all interchanging and filling in the holes very well with whoever's running forward, because there's a person running forward from the back at all times, assisting in the attack. So the way that they've been, I think, for a brand new system for the first 6 weeks, I think they're doing pretty good. Either Blind will move up, Rojo will stay back, or vice versa, or one of the other center backs will run up. I saw McNair run up once or twice, Black a few games back. Raphael's constantly going up, and a midfielder or an attacker will stay back a little bit more and linger. There's always people covering. If you look at the other side of the field, they still hold a shape. And I've seen Rojo up on the sideline, on the touchline too. But I like his physicality is something that they were lacking. His ability to track back. Ferdinand couldn't run back like that. Vidic couldn't.
Old Man River.
Vidic couldn't do that. You know, Raphael was the only person, and once in a while.
He has a set of skills that you believe, if honed correctly, will be very good. You know, pretty fast, seems like a technical player. His positioning, I think, I know you're saying that
he wants
people
to
have been falling
play on left back, but he's playing in center.
Yeah,
he wants to be on the left wing.
His positioning to me is not there.
He wants to be a left wing back. He wants to be like a Marcelo and Alves or something like that. But for right now, his position, I think he's filling it. But who knows? Maybe that's where he's going to end up. Maybe Charles will end up being a center back or a midfielder. Louis van Gaal does crazy things. He turned Schweinsteiger, who was a
maybe
right
he'll
winger,
be a competitive hot dog eater.
He turned Schweinsteiger, who was a right winger. Everybody thought all he did was blast shots at goals when he first came up. He turned him into one of the best holding midfielders in Germany's history. Do you know what I mean? He has an eye for what it is. You just can't do it in 6 weeks. But only time will tell. That's all I can say. I like him. But we have more to do. It's not done.
Well, I hope not. I kind of do hope so. But for
As
your
a-
sake,
as an Arsenal supporter, yeah.
because you're my good friend,
Yes.
I hope not for you. But as from the other side of my heart,
Yes.
I hope so.
Absolutely.
All right, let's look at this weekend. What do you got? I mean, there's only one match for me. There's a lot of matches, but there's only one that you must watch.
That looks like it's going to be an awesome.
It's the only two unbeaten squads.
I'm really going to have a hard time wanting to do anything else on Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, Arsenal visiting Stamford Bridge.
I think I might even have a
Wenger Mourinho.
I might even have a multi-screen setup. I'm interested in the absolute atrociousness of the two defenses of West Ham and QPR. I want to see what kind of offense that's going to produce. I'm going to record that.
It's actually
Even
that's
after.
at 11. That's
That's
at
what I'm
11.
saying.
It's after. The other game at that time is Spurs Southampton, which actually could be an interesting match.
Southampton might be able to steamroll. In that
And
one.
actually, Sunday is the day. I
Yeah.
think because you got United Everton, a gruesome mid-table battle.
Battle for 10th.
Saturday, Battle for the top half of the
Top
table.
of the first half, bottom half.
Liverpool, West Brom. West Brom coming off a 4-goal performance. I mean, I'm not really holding a lot of I don't have a lot of confidence in West Brom, but maybe you never know.
Liverpool's looking at a buzzsaw.
Well, no, actually, no.
Well, Liverpool just lost to Basile, and they
Drew Everton the week before, yeah.
Drew Everton. So they're not, and they don't have those two strikers. They have the one striker still, and a lot of question marks.
I think Sturridge is on his way back. It's a week or two out. A week out, maybe? I don't know. I think Sturridge is on his way back soon. They need him. They need Sturridge back. Sterling can't handle all the whole load here. The other guys around him are not carrying enough of the load. He needs another guy out there. I think Sturridge back in that Liverpool lineup changes things dramatically.
Yeah, that's what. Instead of having 3 people to worry about, everybody's only had 2. Sterling's been able to be shut down. Balotelli's been able to shut down. You can't let the rest of the Southampton team do everything.
All the L's. Give me the L's.
For Liverpool.
Give me Lallana, Lovren, and what's that other guy? Lambert. Yeah. Lambert.
Yeah.
No, all right. The other one that I want to keep an eye on Saturday, and strictly because we're on suicide watch. Swansea, Newcastle.
Yeah, they're making party wear flip flops. They're not getting them shoelaces. Sorry, that was terrible.
That's awful. That's awful joke.
No disrespect to any of the people suffering.
Unless you're Alan Pardew. And in that case, there's a lot of people in Newcastle that want you to suffer.
They're probably taking bets on stuff like that right now.
What?
I wouldn't doubt that bookmakers. Anyway, Pardew out. I think it's going to happen this week.
This week, if they lose? It doesn't matter. Does it not matter?
Unless they win by 6, I think it's going to happen within the next 2 weeks. It's definitely going to happen before the next transfer window. I think it'll happen before Christmas.
Man.
But 2 weeks, definitely. It has to happen before the next transfer window.
He must have lost. He has to have lost the locker room, right?
The locker room. There's people who had to have gone back up to the higher ups. The same way Moyes.
Right, like,
it came out that Ferdinand went up, and
they're like, "Listen, this guy's not working out."
Even Giggs and people like that.
Giggs is like, "I'm even a player manager."
Did that fucking happen? People said that, like things you would say, like the Jagielka story.
Right. I want you to play like him.
Vidic turned to him and says, "Did that just happen?"
I want you to play like him.
I couldn't imagine. Anyway, and the old reunion from the championship, Leicester Burnley. That might be a good match. Actually,
Leicester's going to wipe the floor with Burnley. Leicester has been the class of the promoted teams. They've been phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal maybe is a little strong.
No, for what they've done, for where they came from.
They gave everyone a good weekend the other week.
Yeah.
It was exciting, man. I mean, it was exciting. I mean, being on the other end of it is probably miserable.
It was pretty tough.
Pretty brutal, I'm sure. And listen, I've been on the end of a lot of shitty results.
Yeah, I had 8 to bring it up.
Yeah, I know you'd 8-2 bring it up.
Hey, we're just bringing up things from the past. I'd stop.
We lost at Stamford Bridge 6-0 last year.
I'm done.
Lost to Liverpool.
I'm done.
Whatever.
I'm done.
I can live with it. I
can too. It's all right. They honestly
never lost to Leicester.
That's fine. For them to come up and to do that, I am very happy for their fans and for the whole
league.
Concept of promotion and relegation. Yeah. That is what everybody dreams in those. There's only really 4 or 5 teams that never really think of that, and we support 2 of them.
Yeah,
that torture.
But your team has gone down a few times before you were born.
Yeah, obviously. But in my lifetime, from what I've experienced, I'm very lucky.
I don't think there's anyone alive that's ever seen Arsenal in the 2nd division.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's crack another beer.
Oh, God. But yeah, I think Sunday's definitely the day. I don't know. Do you think... Well, they did fine against the very physical Turkish team. I think they'll give Chelsea a run for the money, the Gunners.
well,
How are they going to be able to contain Costa?
will I be happy with a draw? Yeah, no, I won't. Who's ever really happy with a draw? But it's going into the bridge, going into to play probably the hottest team in the Premier League right now.
Definitely, and the best striker in the Premier League in the world.
Costa is like a possessed man. I give a lot of credit to Cesc Fabregas. Hopefully, we could do something to neutralize Fabregas in the midfield.
And Hazard has been all over the place.
Hazard, and then it depends. It's like there's a lot of Willian, Schürrle,
Ramirez, Schürrle.
I think Ramirez is actually injured, but Schürrle, Oscar. I mean, there's a lot.
Matic.
Well, Matic has been a phenomenal holding midfielder. Phenomenal.
Beast.
I hate talking well about this team. I hope that after this weekend we could stop talking well about them.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, though. It's going to be a hard match. I think the only thing that Arsenal can do that really try to take advantage of the fact that Chelsea this season has been a second half team. And if they just happen to stumble across a Chelsea team that's not clicking in the first half, they need to take advantage. They need to get a couple goals in and hopefully wait it out. I don't know. I think that's the key. That's the key there. Coming off of that Galatasaray win in midweek against Champions League, they're going to be flying high. I think Galatasaray, they came out in a 3-5-2. We're not playing a 3-5-2 in Chelsea. 3-5-2. Our Arsenal team will dismantle a 3-5-2, and they did. They proved that they could do it. They could have scored a lot more. I mean, it wasn't a...
It's a 4-1-4-1 kind of what they play. With, like, wingers going up the sides.
Are you referring to...
Chelsea. Yeah. The forward to back with a holding midfielder, and then they just have a bunch of midfielders and Costa.
And Costa. Yeah, they are pretty fluid, but they're really... in a defensive stance, they're usually very rigid.
Oh, yeah. Straight lines.
They're usually pretty good when it comes defensively. So...
The bus is streamlined.
There's confidence going into the match, but I'm not building too much on that because I believe that Galatasaray was really naive against Arsenal, thinking that they're going to come into Emirates, play a 3-5-2, and not get abused by Sanchez, Welbeck, Ozil, Ox.
Those wingers?
Across the front line, Welbeck, Sanchez, Ox. You know how much speed that is?
They could stretch 4 across and open it up. That was insane. Yeah, Welbeck played very well.
No, it's going to be... I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's...
How are Southampton in second place?
They've only lost one.
I know. That's how it is. Well, thank you for...
Right?
I ask a question, I get an answer.
They've only lost one. Dave, about a couple thousand years ago in the Middle East, they invented mathematics. And when you add up certain numbers, some numbers are higher than others. Southampton has more points than other teams.
Thank you, John Madden.
The team that scores the most touchdowns going to win.
All right. Well, I think
we're good, man.
Yeah,
I feel confident.
EPL for the week.
I feel good. I feel confident about this podcast. I think that people are going to like it.
I think we might even win.
I think if they don't like it, they're not even going to tell us.
No.
That's how good it is. It's going to mute the naysayers.
But if you do want to leave us feedback, or if you want to write for us, or you just want to chit-chat, let us know, how... Actually, don't do that. Just give us feedback.
Chit-chat. Let me know what your cat's name is.
What's our email?
SoccerYanks@gmail.com.
What's your Twitter?
SoccerYankDan.
I'm Soccer Yank Dave. We can follow us at SoccerYanks.com. We're on the Stitcher. We're on the podcast, on the iTunes, on all the mediums. Don't forget to follow us.
I'm not even sure if we're on Zune. I emailed the dude. There's a dude you email to get on Zune Marketplace. If it exists, we might be there. I don't even know how to check that.
I think you faxed them.
I did. I know. Was it a fax?
I think that's the only way Zune operates. They're very archaic technology. Have a good one, folks.
Good night.